presents our Dragon Talk of the Week. We want to thank Pepsi and all of our sponsors. We have head coach of the Dragons here, Chris Parker, is with us. We have receivers and corners coach Wharton is with us. Did I get that right, Coach? I want to make sure. RJ. That's half your job, is to make sure I understand this, okay? Are you awake yet? I know you slept late into the afternoon. Got my co-host here, RJ Casey. He slept well on the coach's question this afternoon, right? So you got one for Coach. Also have quarterback Jacob Brumby with us, wide receiver Zach Goss, and our team. Before we start, RJ, tell us why the Team FYN Sports Writer Player of the Week is Hunter Herman. Why did you pick Hunter this week?
I picked Hunter because he did pretty well on defense, as well as the entire defense. Did well against the high-powered offense last week in Southeast Whitfield. He had a sack as well as an interception. Almost took the interception back all the way for a touchdown. And since region play, defense has really stepped up.
Defense has stepped up in the region play. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that just for a minute. Let's go over Quad A Region 6 football standings. Ridgeland is 2-0. Pickens is 2-0. Heritage is 3-0. Northwest Whitfield is 1-2. Southeast Whitfield County is 1-2. Gilmer 0-2 and Lafayette 0-3. Little recap from last Friday night. Heritage 44 over Northwest Whitfield 21. Ridgeland was 62 over Lafayette 0. And Pickens was 49 over Southeast Whitfield 21. Coach Parker, we are there in the region. We're there where games are make and break. All right, and you had a good strong win over Southeast Whitfield. I would not consider them anywhere near in a lower tier of the region. It's a strong region all the way around, but realistically, now you're getting into what I call some of the strength of this region, that everything to this point, you've got to be ready.
Yeah, Southeast had a good team. They that's probably one of the better teams they've had, the last 3 or 4 years we played them. But Northwest and Ridgeland and Heritage are, traditionally, the last several years anyway, been right there with us. I believe 3 or 4 years in a row we've gone 1-1 against those Northwest and Ridgeland. So it seems like all 3 of us have gone 1-1 against each other, I think 4 years in a row. So now Heritage has kind of emerged as another team that's pretty good in our region. So, it's kind of we're kind of in the part of the schedule where, we're playing the teams that we're going to have to beat if we want to keep moving, if get in the playoffs and then have a chance to win in the playoffs. We probably got to win one more game to make the playoffs, and then after that it's all about seeding. If you win 2 more, you're probably the 3 seed. If you win 3 more, you're the 2 seed. If you win all 4 of them, you're the 1 seed. That's kind of where you are. So you just take it one game at a time and play. Northwest has beat us the last couple of years, so obviously it'll be a challenging game this coming up week.
Coach Wharton, let me ask you this: strength and conditioning. You're at this point of the season, and every week you're looking for this team to get stronger every week. In this part of the season. What are you seeing right now going into, you're looking at seeing now Northwest Whitfield and then teams like Ridgeland and Heritage. I know it's down the road, but how do you feel about the health of the team and what the strength and conditioning in the early part of the offseason up to now?
I feel pretty good. We don't have that too many guys really banged up, and if we do, it's just something small and minor where guys can still lift. But they've had a great attitude in the weight room. I do feel like this has been like the best week we've probably had throughout the season so far. And that's a testament to these guys in class and the attitude that they bring in every day. And if we can sustain that, we'll be in good shape throughout the course of the rest of the season. But I feel really good with where we're at right now.
You got any questions, RJ? Well, I know you usually have the coach's question, but I put you a little on the spot, get a little more involved this week.
Talk to Jacob and Zach. You guys have established a really good connection so far in this season. Talk about how you guys have come together now with Jacob's senior year and Zach your junior year.
You got a quarterback? Me and Zach put a lot of work in the off season, starting in January, February, March, when we don't have anything going on, and we get out there and run routes, along with other players. Me and Zach aren't the only ones that have good connections. Obviously, we have 5 or 6 different receivers that have very good connections. And when we can run the ball as well and draw the defense down and also be able to throw it, it makes me and Zach's job easier.
Are you seeing, let me ask you this, Jacob, while doubling down on RJ's question. Zach, three catches for 72 yards, average of 24. You had a touchdown. Congratulations. The long one was 41 yards. But like you said, you got a lot of guys to go to. You're outstanding year. Really happy for what's going on with the offense, with the yards. 487 or something like that, close to 500 yards this week. Offense, right at 500. But you went to 1, 2, 3. You went to 6 different guys. I mean, this part of the season, and you got Trevor Hawkins with 2 catches, Alex Snellgrove with 3. So you're able to go to several guys. What's the luxury of that, and what's that like this year?
Well, getting this late in the season, guys are figuring out that we have thrown Zach the ball more than other receivers, and obviously he's doing a great job with it. So they're starting to double team, even sometimes against like North Forsyth, they triple team him on the last drive going down before halftime. So it leaves other guys open. If they put 2 on Zach, then it's going to leave another person open. So sometimes it's a luxury, and sometimes it's not, because Zach is probably one of the better receivers we have, but we have other good ones too. It's not like we have a bad receiver. So it's a luxury and not.
Yeah, Zach caught 3 balls because he got double teamed about 58 of those 61 plays. So
exactly. But if you got a receiver getting double teamed,
but it allowed other people to get open.
Exactly.
And Zach understands that. It's just part of the business of being good. Receiver's the toughest position to play by yourself, because at quarterback and at running back, you get the football. Jacob always touched the ball every play. And at running back, no matter how good they are, we had Brooks several years ago, and you just turn and hand them the ball. And nothing the defense can do about it. At receiver, it is easier for the defense to take them away by putting 2 or 3 people on them and say, look, you're going to go to somebody else. And Zach's seeing some of that. But, we're trying to – it's good for him. That's actually the best compliment he's ever been given in his life. And hopefully he'll keep getting that. As much as he might get frustrated with it, the better the team can be and the better compliment to him. Friday night we got to a situation in the second half where it was 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, something like that. And we ran a different formation. Zach's by himself like he always is. And they didn't double team him because 4th and 3 they figured we were going to throw it short or run the ball. So they gambled. They kind of shifted out of it, and we threw him a touchdown. He caught a touchdown on that play. So, Zach's done a great job of being patient, taking what's there. But then all the other receivers, Kane, Snellgrove, Brady Moore, Stryker, Hawkins, Robert, all those guys doing a great job of doing their job. And then Jacob's got to distribute the ball to who's open. And we don't force the ball to anybody. We just throw it to who's open. And anytime 2 people have to cover one of them, just mathematics, that's probably good for the other guys.
Well, I've been watching the team for years. And, there is such an offensive balance. You have 282 yards on the ground and 207 in the air. It's got to be a challenge for your opponent. Your offense has got – would you say this is one of the best balanced offenses you've coached in several years?
I mean, six games in, it's the best offense we've had in a long time. We got to sustain that through, like you said, 3 of these next 4 games are against teams that we've either lost to recently or are really good. So Northwest, Ridgeland, and Heritage are 3 of the best teams we're going to play all year. So I don't know if it's fair to say it's one of the best yet, but I think if we sustain the pace we've been going, then it's not hard to call the plays when you got a lot of good players. So
but you're not in it doesn't look like you're getting in a situation where, because I watch a lot of teams that if they start getting behind, you start having to sling the ball.
Right.
And that I'm not seeing out of this offense, where you're putting yourself in position where you have to just start falling back and slinging the ball.
I think we got a good marriage of everybody. Everybody has a role. I think Coach Wharton, Coach Hunter, Coach Maxwell, those guys have individual jobs that they have to coach. I probably do okay calling the plays. We got good running backs, good receivers, good quarterbacks, senior. It kind of all has come together so far on that. But, like any coach would tell you, the key is to sustain that. So, we're going to always be leery of saying we got the one of the best or this best or whatever. I mean, your best is only as good as that next game. We got to get shut out tomorrow, and we're not that good. So, our job is to just keep doing it. But it is exciting. It is nice. I've been calling the offense plays for, I guess, about 12 or 13 years, and it is nice when you don't have to worry about who the guys are. You just call the best play. So if they're giving us a look to run the ball, we run the ball. If they give us a look to throw it, we throw it. We don't worry about who's out there. And that's not unfortunately, people may not admit that, but that's not every year. Some years you have to figure out, well, we would love to throw it here, but we're not really in a good matchup right here. Our player's not as good as their player or whatever. And because of Zach and many other guys on the team, we're able to win a lot of those individual matchups. So I can just call the play based on what the defense does. These guys can just coach their position and be ready for whatever they run on Friday. Sometimes we call plays on Friday that we didn't have practice because we see something totally different than we expect to see, and we have to go back and remind them, hey, remember, we were going to put this in a couple weeks ago or something. So, I mean, the coaches, just being here for 6 years now, and the coaches, the players, everybody, been in our middle school program. These guys in the middle school program with us, JV, 9th grade, is all kind of come together to help us move the ball, no doubt.
Coach Wharton, same thing on that as far as the receivers are concerned. You've been here for several years. You've worked with receivers throughout the year. What is it like coaching a complete 6 and 7 receivers that you really can work with, and you have such a different balance with a quarterback like Jacob here?
I mean, it's actually a lot of fun because I can remember a few years ago when I came over on the offensive side to start coaching with the receivers. We spent the majority of our time working on blocking. Of course, we also had Shannon.
Yeah, a couple years ago, receivers were out front blocking.
We've got better guys, better talented guys.
The skinny offensive
line, right?
But they do a good job. We have a good time at practice, and they work. And Jacob does a really good job of getting the ball to the right guys, and it really does make it easy. Having good guys that show up and they put in some good work at practice, and Jacob, it really is. It's easy for us. It seems easy, and I mean, and that's because of them. They make it fun.
Well, it's got to be really enjoyable when you're coaching and it's fun. Not that it's
Absolutely.
There's times it's not fun, but when it's fun and you got a group of guys and it's all coming together, that's got to be enjoyable. We're at Johnny's New York Style Pizza right here in Jasper. I want to thank them for providing the location here. Also Pepsi for the drinks and all of our Team FYN Sports sponsors. We're going to take a brief break. When we come back, we're going to have RJ's Coach's Question of the Week. Did you have one?
I do.
Okay, RJ says he has one. We're going to be right back after these messages. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Days Chevrolet in Jasper is dropping the hammer. Over $11,000 off MSRP on new Silverados. Just look what we've done to the price on this new LT Crew Cab. Save over $11,000 and pay just $32,500. And Days Chevy is dropping the hammer in a big way on all new Chevy Malibus. Save over $6,500 and pay just $17,900. The savings are real and they're big at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hi, Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. All I do is win.
Hi, I'm Casey McGraw, the General Manager of Schottenkirk Ford. We're going to start doing something here at Schottenkirk that we're really excited about. You may have already noticed our Facebook page, the new edition of the 360-degree videos. This allows the user to control the video in virtual reality and see it from any angle you choose, simply by moving your device or scrolling with your finger or your mouse. At Schottenkirk, we've decided to take this groundbreaking technology and apply it to the car shopping experience. Now, if you're interested in a new truck, a family car, or a brand new convertible Mustang, you can simply log on to our Facebook page or our YouTube page and see it for yourself in full HD 360-degree detail. Or contact one of our sales associates who will send you the link directly. If you like what you see and want to take it for a test drive, simply stop on by and take it for a spin. At Schottenkirk Ford, we're committed to not only keep up with new market technology, but we strive to be innovators, while always keeping your comfort and convenience as our #1 priority. So follow us on Facebook, check out our new 360 VR videos, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
Hey, we're back, and you're watching Pickens Power Half Hour Dragon Talk. This is Team FYN Sports and Johnny's New York Style Pizza. We want to thank Pepsi and all of our Team FYN Sports sponsors. We're here with Dragons head coach Chris Parker, receivers and corners Coach Weirton, quarterback Jacob Brumby, and wide receiver Zach Goss. Before we go any further, folks, we have dedicated our show tonight, and just want to send out again our thoughts and prayers to the families of Sean Mask and also Jordan Simons, two Dragons players that the family lost this past year, and also Sean this past week. So our show is dedicated to these two young men, and I think you're going to really like how the field is painted for Friday night. It looks
yeah, we just left from there. Yeah, it's been a challenging week, you know. Probably one of the most challenging, if not the most challenging week we've had ever in my time coaching. You know, but we took off the first part of the week, and we got back to work really Wednesday and yesterday, and we're going to get out there and play the best we can and represent our community the hardest we can and try to make as much positive as we can out of these things we don't understand or don't know why they happen. So looking forward to representing the community tomorrow and honoring Sean, his family, and Jordan, his family, as much as we can. But it's still hurting as a team, and trying to go on from that. It's been a long week though.
Well, I think what you guys can do is go out and play hard.
That's
Just
right.
Play hard, play with heart, and go out there Friday night. We have North. Let me go hot. If you just joined us, we're talking Quad A Region 6 football, and this upcoming Friday night, some of the games going on. Northwest Whitfield will Pickens Dragons will be hosting them Friday night here at home. 7:30 kickoff time. Another game that you're going to want to be keeping up with Friday night in this region, Ridgeland and Heritage. That one's going to be a big one Friday night. And then Southeast Whitfield will be traveling over to take on the Gilmer Bobcats. That's your Friday night Quad A Region 6 lineup. Northwest Whitfield looks like they've lost their quarterback right now. You're adjusting for a new quarterback that's going to step up. What are you seeing with them so far this year, and what adjustments they're having to make, Coach, that you're preparing for Friday night?
Well, we expect it to be a tough game. I mean, we haven't beaten them in a while, and they're always well coached. Josh is one of my friends, the coach of that team, does a good job. And, you know, their quarterback will be out, but last year they ran for what felt like 1,000 yards on us, and they always play well defense against us. So probably be, but I honestly believe, the most challenging game we've had. We were talking about offense last segment, and I didn't get this in, but I expect tomorrow to be one of the more challenging games of the season, just for our offense against their D. They always do a good job on defense. They're pretty big up front, and they, you know, they'll present some challenges. They played us a bunch, so they kind of know what we do, and we kind of know what they do. And so, you know, I think it's going to be a tough game, and the way they run the ball, and they're big on the O-line. I don't know. I mean, their quarterback's a good player, one of the best we've ever played against. But I don't think it necessarily makes it where we're all of a sudden a favorite to win the game or anything like that. I think we got to go out and just compete. And they're kind of in a situation where they're always good.
But you're a team they need to beat.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
I mean, they need
it's
to.
It's a must-win for them, too.
They've dropped to Heritage, and they've dropped to Ridgeland. They've dropped to Heritage and Ridgeland. So they come to town as the Dragons. This is a game they need.
Yeah, and not having the quarterback actually will rally them in a weird way. You know, they'll probably come out with a lot of intensity, a lot of excitement, and try to rally around him. And
oh, we had somebody join us. Ellie, how are you tonight? Good. I didn't realize you joined us in the second.
Ellie slept in.
Okay.
But it's going to be a challenge. You know, this one of them games you circle on the schedule and say, you know, way back in March, February, you know, the kids are lifting, coach got them in the weight room, and it's like, you know, if you want to beat Northwest in October, this is what you're going to have to do. You know, I mean, there's always games you pick up like that. And of course, rivalry games for us like Gilmer and stuff, but in our region, you know, traditionally Northwest and Ridgeland were the teams, and I'm sure at Northwest and Ridgeland they say the same thing about us, hopefully. So, you know, there's the games they got to win to have a chance to be where they want to be in November. So, you know, we've had a challenging week, and we're going to be excited to play just to get out there and do something different. But this is always a big game regardless, and so I expect to be no different tomorrow. Regardless of injuries, regardless of circumstances, it's going to be a tough game.
RJ, what's your coach's question of the week, RJ?
Obviously, tough week for everybody here in Pickens. What's morale been like this week?
Well, I mean, you know, that's a tough question to answer. But early in the week, about what you'd expect, and in the last day or so, I think we're trying to rally. You know, led by me, starting with me, through the assistant coaches and the players, trying to do a good job of telling them to, you know, that hurt and sting of things that happened, because, you know, we went through this a few months ago, and of course that brings back all those feelings too. So we kind of got a lot of emotions there, but we're going to try to starting yesterday, we were going to try to start honoring, playing hard, enjoying the times we get, and, you know, move forward the best we can and make a situation that's very difficult and turn it into something positive and not into something negative. And that's easy to say, and it's going to be hard to do. But that's, I mean, the kids have done awesome. They've been awesome. But of course, early in the week, that's.
Jacob, let me ask you that. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Coach, but let me ask you that. How has the team rallied together? It said, what are you guys saying this week, that we got to go Friday night and be positive? And how has the team rallied together this week? Let me ask you.
Yeah, really unfortunate incident, but in some ways it rallies us together and says that we need to play for him, and not just him, but for Jordan as well, and that's this whole season and the rest of the season. And everybody understood that like at the beginning of the week, everybody was down, you know, and it was kind of weird, but everybody's done very good when everybody's come back, and I feel really good about how we're going to finish it up.
Coach Weirton, let me change the direction here as far as the defense and the corners. and things on the defensive side of the ball. Defense is young. You got defenses really, like RJ said at the beginning of the show. It seems like every week they're developing and they're getting a little stronger. Really young defensive side of the ball. At the same year, you have such a strong offense. But how are they coming along, and how do they feel confident in playing these bigger region games as you're going into the season?
I think they are young, but at this point in the season, like every week, they gain experience. And through gaining experience and getting a little bit better each week comes more confidence. And, I thought our defense played its best game probably last week with guys stepping up, making plays. We had some guys in the secondary step up and make plays that we haven't had so far. They've been close. But, we had CJ got a big interception early in the game. Caleb Ray at corner made some big pass breakups throughout the game, and especially later in the game, which were huge. Both of those are first-year starters on defense. And so I think every week they gain confidence, and right now they seem like they're understanding what we're doing more. And with that understanding, they can play a little bit faster. And I think you see it in practice. The defensive side of practice has really picked up in the last couple of weeks, and those guys are really flying around and having fun, and just really seem to have the confidence to go along with that.
Well, what I usually see is this part of the season, your defense is getting set. If they're progressing where you want, it's starting to adjust faster earlier in the game. They start getting their reads of what their offense is doing. They're receiving good instruction from the sideline, and then making those adjustments real fast. When they see guys coming in and out from the sideline, they kind of start picking up what's going to happen. So you're starting to see those kind of things, early adjustments in your defense, the defense picking up who's running in and out, and what's happening on the offensive side, Coach.
Yeah, defense is doing a better job. We forced 5 turnovers Friday. We still got a lot of room for improvement, but the effort and the attitude of the kids on defense has been great, and it's been great all year. We shut a team out and we gave up 50-something points.
Well, they're doing great.
And the attitude's the same. The kids done a good job. The difference has been the opponents, and some of them have been better than others. But I told the guys this week, we saw some individual things, and Coach mentioned a few of them, where individuals made 1 or 2 plays they've never really made before. So if they can make 7 or 8 of those plays over the course of a game instead of 1 or 2, and the next week make 9 or 10 of them, and the next week, we're getting there. It's a process, and their biggest challenge will be tomorrow night because their running back is about 270 or something and runs pretty good. So it's going to be a real challenge to stop these guys from running the ball, and then try to make them do some other things.
When you have a team and you're starting to see some good film, you got a team like Northwest that's played a Heritage already, played Ridgeland that you're playing now, and you've got good film on that offense. What's it like when you start preparing and you know that that's not the quarterback of the film that you're looking at?
It actually, in a weird way, makes it a little more challenging. Shit
obviously,
pretty good, so it would be tough with him playing. But at least we would know kind of what we're going to get. I don't know that we have any idea what we're going to get tomorrow, to be honest. So it's going to be important. The guys on defense are ready to adjust to whatever formation they throw out, whatever they do. It wouldn't surprise us to see different people in quarterback, or some exotic formations or something that just is different. Because these guys are well coached, they're going to be ready to play. They're not going to use that as an excuse. They're going to come out there ready to beat us at 7:30, and we got to match that, ready to beat them.
Hey, Zach, let me ask you a question because just before we close, I want to get back to you. I think like Coach said, one of the best compliments you can get as a receiver is when, you're playing somebody and they're double teaming you. But is that a little frustrating for you trying to get open, the double teaming? Are they starting to pick up on you, key on you on every game?
At first it is, but then again, other people get touchdowns, and you can't. If you key on one person, then there's other people gonna be open. And I'm just trying to help the team and win, and trying to get that dub.
So if they're double teaming on you and it's a challenge, then you've got 4 or 5 other guys that they're leaving open that Jacob can find. Right.
And I'll tell you what now, and he means that we got some good boys on the team. We got some good players where if you come and watch us play, 2 or 3 kids really will stand out, and you'll say, man, look at that guy, look at that one. But our team really isn't like that. We got Zach really doesn't care. He just wants to win. Jacob, there's games where we don't throw the balls, or if we have to go out tomorrow and run the ball every play, Jacob will turn around and hand the ball to play. We got in the red zone Friday. I might embarrass him, but I'll tell the story because it's a good story. We'll go. We get down to the one. It's basically the last play for the half. We might could have gotten 2 plays, about 7 seconds left. And so you got 2 options there. We had no timeouts. We're on the 1 yard line. You can run it, and you're not going to get another play, so you got to score. Or you can throw it, even from the 1 yard line. If you throw it quick, you might could get 2 plays because it's 7 seconds left. So we had the last timeout, and we're sitting there, and I'm trying to figure out which one of these 2 things we're going to do. Because once you figure out what you're going to do, then you can call a play. But we could have tried to run something at Zach, but they were going to double or triple covering. But at least we could have gotten 2 plays. And Jacob says something to the effect of, why didn't you just put Stryker in and quit doing that or something? And so we put CJ in a quarterback, and he scored. And it's a great testament. And I'll be honest, at that moment, that was way down the list of things I was going to do because I was trying to get 2 plays. And this might be too long of a story, but both of these guys get a ton of credit, and they're going to get their name somewhere, and they're going to say they threw for this many or whatever. But not many people that's a big-time quarterback is going to say, hey, if this guy can get a yard, I'll go play wide receiver and get him get a yard. And Zach does the same thing. On the same play, Zach's out there, and 2 people are covering him, and he's running the guy off, and 2 are covering him, so CJ walks in the end zone. It's a 1-yard game, but our team is just – and I don't want to say other teams I've coached on weren't like that because I feel like most of the teams I've been on have been pretty selfless. But it does feel like these boys, they say all this stuff because they know the right things to say, but they're actually doing those things. When nobody is listening and nobody knows, nobody would know that story if I didn't just tell it, that they're really pulling for the other guy too, and they don't care if they get the credit or if they score the touchdown or whatever.
I've been on your sideline for several games. Everything you just said, Coach, it's showing up on the field, it's showing up on the scoreboard, and it's showing up on the sideline, and it is working. It is something that is very proud the way you guys are a unified team and you all work together. Ellie, we're going to close with you. Do you like being on the show every week?
She slips on here, doesn't she?
Yeah, somehow I look over.
She's like a Where's Waldo with Dragon Talk.
Yeah.
You look
Ellie, do you like Johnny's New York style pizza? Just double checking. Hey folks, I'm your host BKP, and you've been watching Dragon Talk, Pickens Power Half Hour, Dragon Talk on Team FYN Sports on Friday night. RJ's always on the sideline for the Pickens Dragons. Follow us. Find our Facebook page, Team FYN Sports. Follow us on Twitter at Team FYN Sports. Who you got a Twitter beef with now on the sideline? You got Twitter beef all the time going.
I gotta find somebody.
Yeah, he's always got one going. But follow us.
RJ,
He'll
play
keep
no
it
plays
up.
Friday.
And Richie, as soon as I say this, kill it because I can't hear any booing. Go Yankees!